You're tuned in to the Tithing Hoax podcast, where we offer teachings, commentary, and insights about false tithing doctrines and the prosperity gospel. Is tithing a kingdom mystery? That's the question. And before I get into that, let's get into this. Today's podcast is sponsored by the Amazon best-selling book, The Tithing Hoax, exposing the lies, misinterpretations, and false teachings about tithing. Inside this book, you'll discover the truth about tithes the church doesn't want you to know. Free yourself from the tithe deception. Get your copy of The Tithing Hoax today on Amazon.com and wherever books are sold. Hey, this is your girl, R. Renee. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of the Tithing Hoax podcast. And today's topic is tithing a kingdom mystery? Now, before I get into it, let me give this quick note. The inspiration for this topic comes from a Ghanaian news outlet that published comments from a Bishop Oyedepo, who had made several comments about tithing. So this is the last episode dealing with one of the statements he supposedly made, okay? And the point is to determine whether his teachings or what he said, or that the outlet said he said, whether what he said is true or false. And please, hear my heart and my spirit. This is not a criticism of the bishop at all, because I do not know him. I'm not familiar with his church and in the totality of his teachings. So this is not a personal attack. This is not personal at all. This is just a jumping point to discuss what is being taught in the body of Christ in regards to tithing, and whether what is being taught is actually biblical, whether it's true or false. And this is not about the messenger, in this case Bishop Oyedepo. It's about the message. Okay, so let's get into it. Is tithing a kingdom mystery? Now, tithing is a kingdom mystery according to Bishop Oyedepo. He's the founder and leader of the Winners Chapel in Nigeria. The bishop makes tithing sound like a supernatural act that believers can't comprehend with their understanding. It also implies that believers should tithe because it's related to God's kingdom. But what does the Bible say? Well, the Bible reveals a different perspective on the bishop's claim. Is tithing a kingdom mystery? I say no. Tithing is not a kingdom mystery, and here's why I say that. Number one, claiming the tithe is a kingdom mystery is a form of emotional manipulation. When the bishop frames tithing as a kingdom mystery, he makes it sound like a supernatural practice beyond the believer's comprehension. Often, people are drawn to mysterious things. In this case, it makes tithing more enticing, alluring, and attractive. The result is unsuspecting believers are drawn into tithing because they think they're practicing or participating in a powerful supernatural act. But the reality is that the believer's fascination with the spiritual world is being exploited. So here's my second point as to why I say tithing is not a kingdom mystery. Yeshua, also known as Jesus the Christ, didn't teach that tithing was a kingdom mystery. This is important because revealing kingdom mysteries are the foundation of Yeshua's ministry. He revealed to his fellow Hebrews, especially his disciples, how God's kingdom works. He shared kingdom mysteries through parables, such as the parable of the mustard seed in Matthew chapter 13, verses 31 and 32, the parable of the wheat and tares in Matthew chapter 13, verses 24 through 30, and the parable of the soils in Matthew chapter 13, verses 1 through 23. Yeshua also demonstrated the kingdom by healing people, which we can read about in Matthew chapter 8, verse 16, chapter 15, verse 30, and chapter 21 in verse 14. In the Gospels, Yeshua mentions tithing, but he doesn't teach tithing. He only says tithing to point out the hypocrisy of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Yeshua rebukes them for engaging in the tithing of herbs while ignoring more important matters such as mercy and justice. So as we study the ministry of Yeshua, we discover that tithing was not viewed as or taught as a kingdom mystery. Now to my final point as to why tithing isn't a kingdom mystery. Tithing is a legalistic practice. The biblical tithe is part of the Mosaic Law covenant. As such, there was nothing mysterious about it. Instead, it was a practical way of supporting the tribe of Levi who didn't receive a land inheritance. Refer to Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 9. Additionally, the poor received tithes, such as the widows, fatherless children, and strangers within the nation of ancient Israel. You can read about that in Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 12. Again, we see the Bible doesn't portray tithing as a mysterious kingdom act. Instead, it was a legally mandated command the Lord required to support the Levitical priesthood and the poor among the Hebrew Israelites. And there's nothing mysterious about that. Consider this. You have a job and receive a paycheck. Each month, you take a portion of that paycheck and pay your bills. Is that mysterious? Of course not. So what's the point? Paying your bills is a practical act. Likewise, paying tithes to the Levites was a practical way of supporting them. Therefore, there's nothing mysterious about paying tithes. The ancient Israelites were fulfilling their responsibility according to the Mosaic Law covenant. So let's summarize these key points. Is tithing a kingdom mystery? No, not according to the Bible. 1. Claiming tithing as a kingdom mystery plays on the believer's emotions. Framing tithing as a kingdom mystery entices believers to participate in what they think is a powerful supernatural act that supports the kingdom. 2. Yeshua didn't teach tithing. He didn't proclaim it as a kingdom mystery. Yeshua reveals several kingdom mysteries in the Gospels, such as the parables of the mustard seed, wheat and tares, and the soils. However, tithing was not part of these mysteries. Finally, the Bible doesn't portray tithing as a kingdom mystery. In the Old Testament and the Gospels, tithing was a practical way of supporting Levites and the poor. It was a legal act established under the Mosaic Law covenant. There is no basis for claiming tithing is a kingdom mystery, so we here at tithinghoax.com determine that this teaching is a false doctrine. If you enjoyed today's Tithing Hoax podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm R. Renee. Thank you for listening and be blessed.